Welcome to Pre-Calculus Math 3, no, Pre-Calculus Chapter 2 Test Review. You're in it. You're going to win it. That's it. You're, can you feel that? That's, you're going to take that test and you're going to kick it right in the groin area. Right there. You take that, you test. That's what I'm talking about. Don't show your parents that. Give me, or is it hot in here? Huh? Okay. So here we go. Okay, number 1 on your test. Were you guys able to do this just now? How many of you have already solved this? Let's look at the answer. Boom. Yes, that's it. I heard someone just kick it in the groin area. There's a 4 times x minus 1 squared minus 2. Did you guys get that for your answer? Cool. I'm going to do it real quick just for the video since you already know how to do it. Boom. But anyhow, when we graph this, when we write the equation, we write it in vertex form, right? So we're going to say a, because it's given the vertex in vertex form, a times x minus h squared plus k. I have my h and k, so I write this as y equals a times x. H is 1, the minus makes it -1 squared, and then this stays the same, -2, right? Just plug in the h and k. Then, to figure out the next part, we just plug in our x and y and solve for a, right? So, let's solve this. Y equals a times x minus 1 squared minus 2. I got my x and y, got my x, -1, got my y, 14, and then I solve for a. -1 minus 1. Let's do the parentheses first, because that's what they tell us to do. Parentheses first. -1 minus 1 is -2 squared minus 2a equals 14. Exponents next. -2 squared is corazon. So we say 14 equals, I'm going to say 4a minus 2. I just put the 4 in front of the a, right? Just moved it over there. That makes sense. Then you add 2. 14 plus 2 is 16 equals 4a. I divide by 4, and I get, that's a 4. And I get 4 equals a. Or a equals 4, which means I plug 4 back into my equation. Want to sound sexy? Let's say f of x. If you put y, I wouldn't mark it wrong. F of x equals 4 times x minus 1 squared minus 2. Yes, I am still here. You guys cool? Okay, so practice that a couple times. Start with the most difficult questions first. And boom. Okay, so there's the answer. Okay, Unit 2, test review, group test corrections. When you're done with this, I'm going to have you guys turn in the corrections, set an assignment in Canvas. I want you to turn that in for points, right? Because this is a group test. You guys are doing your corrections. I know, I don't know if that sounds weird, but my whole goal behind this is just to make sure that you guys are doing it, right? That's why I'm not correcting it. You guys are correcting it. Does that sound okay? All right. So make the corrections now. Okay. Describe the end behavior. So it's a sheet of paper, right? Raise your hand at Sensei. I don't even need an explanation on this. I got this. Okay, raise your hand. I just need a little bit of a review. Otherwise, I think I got it. Okay. I'll assume everyone else needs a big explanation. So you want to look at the biggest exponent and then look at the sign in front of the coefficient. Is this positive or negative? Positive. So that means it's this hand's going to do what? Up or down? Up, right? And then this is even. The biggest one is even. So that means this hand is going to go up or down. What's this hand going to do? It's going to be the same, right? It's even up. So my quadratic is going to look something like this, or I should say my function is going to go up and up. And whatever we have in the middle, it doesn't matter, but it's going to be up and up. So what I would do is I would just draw this so then I can write it out the way I'm supposed to write it. First, let's talk about x going in this direction. What does that mean? X is what? In that direction, what do I put next to my arrow? Tell your group. Go ahead. Tell your group. I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds to figure it out, and then I'm going to call on one of you. All right, Melody, what do we got? Positive infinity, going that way, right? As it's going that way, what do I do for my f of x? Is going that. Touch your group. I'll give you 5 seconds to figure it out. Go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ricardo, what do we got? F of x is doing what? Going to positive infinity. Very good. Boom. You guys got that? And then we got x going in infinity direction. What do I put for x going that way? Isabella, what do I do for x going that way? Positive infinity? Yeah. Well, I already have positive infinity, so I'm going this direction now, negative infinity, right? I feel like I'm confusing you. Am I confusing you? No. Okay. So we're going to go negative infinity. You guys understand? So we're going to go positive infinity, then I'm going to go that direction. What is y doing in that direction? Bella, what is it? F of x is what? In this direction, what is my y doing? Is it going up or is it going down? Positive infinity, it's going up, and that's how you're going to write it. Yes, Jackson. Okay, so we're talking about the end behavior, right? End behavior is what it's doing at the ends. Okay, so tell me about the positive infinity. Why did I write that? Because, yeah, it's going in this direction. So this is basically, this is saying, what's it doing in this direction? The negative infinity is saying, what's it doing in that direction? The ends. If I did a number line, Jackson, right? You're still confused, right? Okay. If I did a number line, okay, I have 0 in the middle, right? 1, 2, 3, 100. Keeps going, right? 1,000. All the way to what? That's infinity, right? So if I was to do my function, right, it's going to have like ends this way. What's it when it goes that direction? I just want to say, how do I recognize going that direction? The x going to infinity is that. Now, if I go this way, this is going to go negative 100. This is all the way over here is going to end all the way to negative infinity, right? So all this is saying is, hey, what's it doing in that direction? That's right, x is going. All this is saying is, hey, what's x doing going that direction? This one, even though it's pointing over here, is saying what's x doing in that direction? Okay. Well, what is x doing in that direction? What is f doing? The f of x is the y. If it was going down, like if I went like this, and it ended going down, well, then this would be negative infinity. So it's going down in that direction. But it's not, so it's not. Okay. Are we good? Okay. I'm moving on. Can I move on? Richard, I got that now, Sensei. Like this is one of the easy ones. Just practice that. Take you like 2 minutes to do this 4 times, right? Make another graph or do whatever. Okay. Okay. Anyway, boom. Find all the zeros of the given function. Okay. Bonus if it's simplified all the way. Okay. So this one, you have bonus if it's simplified. So this is a quadratic because it's x squared. Okay, talk about in your groups. How am I going to solve it? How am I going to solve it? I'm going to call on one of you. Go. How do I solve this? All right, Danielle, how do I solve this? Quadratic formula will absolutely work. However, is there an easier way? X box parentheses is another way. However, is there an easier way? Well, that's the quadratic formula. Did anyone do this? Find the greatest common factor. Each of these are divisible by 5. So I'm going to say 5 times x squared minus 2x minus 1. Raise your hand if you understand what I did there. Okay, talk about it in your groups and say, what the heck did he just do there if you don't know? Go. Okay, if I multiplied this and I said 5 times x, is it 5x squared? Yes. If I said 5 times negative 2, is it negative 10x? And if I said 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. So this equals to that. I just took the 5 out. Now, why is this easier? Yeah, I could just ignore the 5 and look at this, and I don't need to do x box parentheses. I don't. Does it not factor? Negative 1, negative 2. Oh, so it's not factorable. So we can't do this way. Sorry, guys. So if we can't do it this way, what do we do? Now, quadratic formula for this will work. We could use a quadratic formula for this, which will help us simplify it already. So here we go. Let's go ahead and do the quadratic formula. Okay.
Okay, so how do we know that the first initial won't work?
Negative 1, negative 2. Do you understand what I did here, Jackson?
Yeah, but I mean, without factoring the 5 out, how would you know?
Well, okay. Let's first. Do you understand why this doesn't work?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So then, if you're this one, you'd have to do x box parentheses because of the 5. So you multiply negative 5 times 5 is negative 25, and you get negative 10. What times what equals negative 25 and adds to negative 10? Nothing will work. So then you know quadratic formula. So
Yeah, but how do you know you have to use quadratic formula? Factor from it?
you could do either one. You'll get the same answer. It's just that this one will be more simplified than that. This one, the A is 5, the B is negative 10, the C is negative 5. This one, the A is 1, the B is negative 2, the C is negative 1. When you simplify it all out, you'll get the same answer. I would just rather work with the smaller numbers than the bigger numbers. Either one would work. Most of you probably did it this way, right? On the test. So I'm going to do it with this one. See if we get the same answer, shall we? X equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Am I going to have the quadratic formula written for you on the test? No, such a meanie. X equals negative blank plus or minus square root blank squared minus 4 blank blank all over 2 blank. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm doing this one. So this is my A, B, and C. -2 plus or minus -2 minus 4 times A times C all over 2A. Keep simplifying. -2 is +2, +2, plus or minus square root of 4. -4 times -1 is +4. Is that too fast for anyone, that step? All over 2. 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 plus or minus square root of 8 over 2. Now, if you put this, or that, what was it, 5 square root of 200 or something like that, I would accept that, but you get bonus if you simplify it all the way. Square root of 8. 8 is 2 times 4. 4 is 2 times 2. 2 times 2 times 2. So square root of 2 times 2 times 2 is my 8. Who gets out of jail? 2 break out. Yes, 1 dies. Only 1 gets out. 2 root 2. So we'll say 2 plus or minus 2 root 2 over 2. They're all divisible by 2, which makes them. Yes, Melody, you have a question? Sure. I'll come back to you. They're all divisible by 2. Blink, blink, blink. So these all become 1. So it's 1 plus or minus 1 root 2 over 1. Which, do I need this one here? You don't need one that you don't need the 1 here. So 1 plus or minus root 2 is this full simplified answer. Now, you guys got a big one. What was it? 5 plus or minus square root 200 over 5 or something like that? 10 plus or minus square root. Then I'd accept that too. You got that. So I'd accept this. I'd accept that. 10 plus or minus 10 root 2 over 10. I'd accept that. Anyway, this will be the full extra credit, though. You have to get that. Okay? Am I putting you guys to sleep? It's okay. I get it. I'd be falling asleep too. Can I raise your hand? Raise your hand if we're ready to move on to the next problem, Sensei. Okay. Any questions? I didn't see anyone put their hand up, so I'll see if there's any questions. So this, or this, right? This is only bonus. Here's the other answers I would accept, right? If you didn't break it down. Okay. Divide using synthetic division. How many of you can do this one? You don't need a review. I can do this one. I don't need a review. Okay, I'm just going to do it anyway for the film's sake. Since you don't need a review, I'm just going to do it very quickly, okay? So I'm going to put in a -3 here because I'm dividing by x plus 3. This only works if there's no number in front of x. Synthetic division, you must use synthetic division if I ask you to use synthetic division. Oh, 3, 2, 1, 0. Make sure these go in descending order. And so they do. 5, -15. 3 times 5 is -15. 18 minus 15 is 3. -3 times 3 is -9. 7 times -9 is -2. -3 times -2 is 6. Right? Got the 0. I love the 0. So my final answer is what? Boom. Make sure you put the x's in there if you want full credit. This is not an answer. 5, 3, -2. That is not an answer. I feel like I can move on. Yes, Jackson. If I'm asking you to divide, it will be divisible. It should have a 0 at the end. Okay? That's just if it's a straight up division problem. The other one, we're asking you to do the find the zeros. You're going to divide until you find the 0. So you got to keep going until you find the 0. This one, I'm basically I'm telling you what the 0 is on this. Okay? And I think on another one I do too, if I remember correctly. Can I move on? Raise your hand if I'm ready to move on. Say, Sensei, you can move on. Roberto, you good? Are you going to wait? No, I'm good. Okay. Here we go. Boom. Find all zeros of the given function. Okay, so now this is the hardest problem, I think. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. I need to know how slow I should be going. This is the most challenging problem, so I need to understand, get a feel of the class of how quickly or how slowly I should go over this problem. Okay? So I'm going to base it on how well you understand it right now. Raise your hand. I got this, Sensei, no problem. Okay. Raise your hand. A little bit of a review, Sensei, will help. Go medium speed. Okay. Anyone want me to go? Well, okay, I won't put you in the spot. If you want me to go really slow, let me know. If I'm going too fast, let me know. It's up to you if I'm going too fast. Okay. I'm going to ask you, what's the first step? Go ahead and talk about it in the group. I'm going to call on one of you. I'll give you 10 seconds to figure out what is the first step. Go. All right, Janessa, what's my first step? Let's find the P and Q. Sounds great. I got a P. Here is negative 24. My Q is 1. Okay. What do I do next for my P's? 10 seconds. Ask someone. I'm going to call on you. Go. What are my P's? Or what do I do? All right, Elena. Don't tell me what the P's are, but tell me what to do to find the P's. So what goes into P? The factors, right? So what goes into 24? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 12, 24. Dang, there's a lot. And then what about my Q? Same thing, right? So there's only one Q, which is 1, which is basically these: plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 4, plus or minus 6, plus or minus 8, plus or minus 12, plus or minus 24. So Jackson, this is the one where you have to go until it hits a 0, right? Ah. Doesn't have a time. Okay. Really make sure, remind me, I have you still marked absent. So I'll try to, when I have a chance, I'll do it, but sometimes I forget. Okay. What do I do next? What do I do next? Sage, what do I do next? Synthetic division. Just start dividing the crap out of it, right? Let's start with positive 1. 1. And I go 1, 6, 3, negative 26, negative 24. And I got 1. I go 1, 1, 7, 7, 10, 10, negative 16. So 1 does not work. So what do I do next? Try negative 1. A little cumbersome, but nonetheless. Let's try -1. Let's try that again. -1, 1, -1, 5, -5, -2, 2. -26 plus 2 is -24. -1 times -24 is, right? So at that point, we write x equals -1. Because what's the question? Find all the zeros. How many did we find so far? 1. So you could try -1 again, but I'm going to try +2. Let's do +2. So at this point, we divide it by this. Let's divide by 2. Actually, you know what? Let's do -1 again. What if -1 works again? So let's try it, just in case. No spoilers. I didn't tell you at the end of Titanic the ship sank. I'm sorry. -1. Near, far, wherever. I think I can sing and do this at the same time. Because I'm thinking words, but I'm doing numbers. I don't know. Wherever you are, I will go, and my heart will go on. It's such a cheesy movie. They only knew each other for like a couple days. You know, and to be honest with you, Jack was a loser. I mean, not to be honest. Really, what are you all? Oh, I like to live life and just like I don't care what's going on. It's like, dude, come on, get a job. That's what I would say. You know what I mean? Go to school. Oh, romantic. He wants to. No. Sorry. Like if my daughter took someone like that home, I'd be all, okay, what do you plan to do with your life? You know what I mean? I know. It sounds terrible. Okay, at this point, we know that x is also +2, right? So, do I keep dividing? No. You can, but let's do the x. It'll be way easier because it's going to tell us the answer. X squared plus 7x plus 12. You guys see that? I got x fourth, x cubed, x squared, and then you just go, okay, I got 12. Here's where people are going to get confused. What times what equals 12 and adds to 7? 3 and 4, 4 and 3 is what I heard. That means x plus 3 times x plus 4. This tells you what goes in the parentheses, right? But I need to know the zeros. My zeros are what? -3 and -4, because that's the question. So let's put up our zeros. X equals -3 and -4, and that is the answer to your question. -1, 2, -3, -4. That's how you do it. I know I'm in the way. I'm writing it over here. As if I was writing in factored form, x plus 1 times x minus 2 times x plus 3 times x plus 4. This is the factored form. Why am I writing it like that? Right there on the side. No, I don't, because the question says what are the zeros. But why did I write it here in that form? Why did I write in factored form? Because you didn't ask. But the next question asks us to graph it. I'll go back. Back to what part? This one right here? Should I give you guys another problem like this to do at home?
Yeah.
I'll have to make one up. I'll try to do one before the class ends. No gangster handshakes, Tony. Okay, thank you. You hurt your fingers again? Both of them? And your hand? Your ankles? Are you gonna play on Friday?
Yeah.
Should rest. Don't quit. You don't want to beat up your body. I don't know. I'm a wimpy guy though. I'm an old man. Josh, should he rest or should he play? Oh, okay. Never mind. I take it back. All right. Okay. So now we have to graph it. And darn it. I guess I'll try to do everything over here on the side. So I have here, okay. So graph the function. What are my steps? Set equal to 0. Then, tell me what after I set it equal to 0? What do I do? Talk about in your groups. What do I do? I'm yelling it out. What do you do? All right, Chris, what's my steps after setting equal to 0? Eric, sorry. What are my steps after setting equal to 0? What's that? After I set it equal to 0, I gotta do something that I already did, but what's the step? Sochi, what do I do after I set it equal to 0? Factor it, right? Oh, does that sound crazy? The steps, right? But we already factored it. I just was asking what the step was. We already factored it, so can I fit it here? X plus 1 times x minus 2 times x. I get x. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it like this. I'll do it here. See if we can figure it out. Okay, so I have 0 equals x plus 1 times x minus 2 times x plus 3 times x plus, what's my next step? Someone yelled out or someone called me. What's my next step? Before testing the limits? Finding the zeros. I think that's probably what you meant. What are my zeros? We already have those. -1, 2, -3, -4. Then we test the limits. So my limits, put in order, -4, -3, -1, and then 2. Am I going too fast? I'll pause. I'll do red. Red. Okay. Can I go now or no? Virginia, if you need more time. Okay, what number should I pick less than -4? -5. Guess what? Negative, 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 negative. They're all going to be negative past that point. How many negatives do I got? 4, which makes it positive. Do we need to pause and explain that? Do I need to? It's your last chance. So, I plug in -5. -5 plus 1 is -4. Ultimately, it's negative. -5 minus 2 is -7. Ultimately, -7 is negative. -5 plus 3 is -2. -2 is negative. -5 plus 4 is -1. -1 is negative. Whenever I multiply 4 negatives, anytime I have pairs, the two pairs become positive. So I have two negatives, they become positive, which becomes positive. Wakanda forever. This is Wakanda. So then we got positive. Plug in negative 3.5, because that's between -4 and -3. -3.5 plus 1 is -2.5, which is negative. -3.5 minus 2 is -5.5, which is negative. -3.5 plus 3 is -0.5. Is still negative. -3.5 plus 4 is +0.5, which is positive. 3 negatives. 2 become positive, 1 left, negative, negative. -2. -2 plus 1 is -1, negative. -2 minus 2 is -4, negative. -2 plus 3 is +1, positive. 2 negatives, positive. Positive. 0. 0 plus 1, positive, negative. 1 negative, negative. Negative. 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 minus 2 is +1, which is positive. 3 plus 3 is 6, which is positive. Positive, positive, positives. No negatives is no negatives is positive. Try out for cheer. I am cheer. So we go start with positive. Okay, so oh my gosh, he's so handsome. I love George Michael. Okay. So we have here, see if I can get the number line. Oh, I'll just do it here. We had negative, what were my zeros? -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. -3. Thank you. -1, 2. Thank you. Okay. So we had here, let's do our things. We had here, this was positive, negative, positive. And then all of here was negative, right? And then positive at the end, right? So these are my zeros. Dink, 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 and dink. So I got positive. Means I go above. I got to hit my dots. Connect the dots, right? Between these dots is negative. Connect the dots. Between these dots is positive. Connect the dots. Between these dots is negative. Connect the dots. Then we end positive. That's all just one problem. Like from the beginning where I had you factor and then you had to do all this. I hate this class. Now, they're not here. Oh, darn it. Okay. So I'll just take them all and then. Okay, what is this for? Oh, you're invited to celebrate. Oh, good. Okay. Positive news. Very good. Oh, actually, I'll pass it down as we do the problem. Huh? Okay. We good? Can I move on? Yep. Raise your hand if you need more time for this one. You guys doing okay? Should we do I'm a little teapot break? Yes, we need a break? Yeah. Raise your hand if you want a break. Oh, I hate to. Okay. Okay, we're doing an intermission. So just fast forward to the next part because I don't know how to edit it. You're just going to sit here looking at us take a break. We'll do a party. Okay. We'll do a break till the song ends. No, I'll find one. Oh, Oogie Boogie. No, I do whatever I want.
Get everything?
Okay, don't forget your lunch. We're giving
Get loose. Get loose. Loosen up. You're doing math. Stand up and stretch. We're doing it. Get loose. Yeah, you're relaxed. Ready some math. Yes. Talk to each other. Oh. Ah. Can you feel that? No. I should right now, but Spooky. I know what to do. Let's go like this. No, don't bother me. We're taking a break. Selfie dance. It's called selfie dance. They can't hear the music. I'm just walking. You know what I mean? On the video, you'll be all, what's he doing? Back of the head. Ear. Look at my ear. Oh. 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 You know what I mean? I'm going to eat you. Yeah. What? Oh, you can film other people. They don't want to be filmed. Huh? You can film yourself. You want to film yourself? Okay, you got to dance so. No. We'll film each other together. No? Oh. Whoa! 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 Woo! Oh! Who's that? Oh! 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 Wait. I'm diving. Cannonball. Ow. Okay. I'm looking at you, sucker. I'm looking at you. Off the top ropes. And elephant. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Oh. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, can I borrow some of that tape, Tony? Oh my God. Woo! Okay, we're having a party here. We're taking a break. Oh. Are you recording? Yeah. Ooh. I'm gonna test review. Hey! This is a long song. I'm getting kind of tired. Okay, I'm gonna set everything up. Woo! Oh, oh my gosh. Really tired. Oh, shit, I broke the camera. Oh no. I should use that time to pass out the green papers. Darn it. Okay. Is it me or is it hot in here?
Google 5, a phone plan by Google.
Okay. All right.
$209 over 2 years with a Google 5 phone subscription program. You get a Pixel 6a, device protection, and a phone upgrade after 2 years.
Right. Oh, no. Oh, that could song though. I could dance all day. I'm not going to do it though. I have to teach you guys. Okay. Oh, I better plug in there. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, intermission is over. So this is, I'll say you know where to stop. I'll go like, how should I do where to stop? I'll put the hand in front. So you can fast forward to the hand. Because I don't know how to pause it. Can you pause like a Google Meet recording? You guys probably know how to do it. No, they have to start all over again. All right. Okay. Oh, this is an easy one. Is this easy, you guys think, or no? No. Just imagine instead of X and Y, we do X and I or R and I, right? Like, what if this was like, wait, raise your hand. I already know how to do this, Sensei. I don't need an explanation. Okay, let me do this. Imagine if this was, instead of real axis, this was the X axis, and this was the Y axis. What would the location of that point be? Tell your group, what would the point be? Tell your group, what would it be? Sochi, what would they be? We got -1. Whoops. -1 over 1, and then -2. Now, the only difference is this isn't the y-axis, it's the what? You just go like this. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. That's not all you have to do. That's all you got to do. -1, -2i. So on the y-axis, you just put a y there, an I. On the y-axis, you put an I. The y-axis, you put an I. The y-axis. Oh, and you don't put a comma. Sorry, I should have said that. -2 minus 2i. So get rid of the comma. Because it's a complex number. You don't need parentheses either way. It's a complex number. Will you dock a point if you put a comma? Yeah. I will dock a point. How hard is it to not put a comma? Well, then I feel bad for you because you're going to be missing some points. Okay, let's graph. Can I move on to this one? Notice this is an H and K function. See how it's H and K. When you see this, so go ahead and write it down. I'm going to ask you what the H and K is. All right, so have this in this form, y equals a over x minus h plus k, right? 5 seconds. Tell each other what the h and k is. Because I'm going to call one of you. Go. What's the h and k? Michael, what's the H and K? 1 and 3. So we got the H and K. What's my A? Just anyone, what is it? A is 2, right? That doesn't really matter for us right now. Whenever we have this, let's do the H and K. We got 1, 1, 2, 3. You put the point there for my H and K. If it looks like this, draw the cross. Got it? So now we got to plot our points. So let's do a table, shall we? Just for the video thing, I'm going to write it over here. F of x equals 2 over x minus 1 plus 3. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it here. Dink. I'm going to go dink. I'm going to go dink. And so we have f of x equals 2 over x minus 1 plus 3. Now to do this, we are going to make a table, x and f of x, right? When it looks like this, make a table. Okay, now the question is, what numbers do I put in for the table? 1 in the middle. Let's first put our H and K here. My H and K is 1, 3. What letter is this? What coordinate is that? X. This is Y. This X coordinate tells me what to put in the middle. You put 1 in the middle, because that's going to give us a nice center, what the graph's going to look like. You put in 3 less and 3 more. What is less than 1? 0, -1, -2, 3 more, 2, 3, and 4. And you just plug those numbers in. This will be no solution because that's my asymptote. And plug in 0. So then you just start plugging in the numbers. 2 over 0 minus 1 plus 3. 2 over 0 minus 1. 2 over -1, which is -2 plus 3, which is 1. Right? So you just plug them all in. Right? It's kind of a pain, but just got to do it. 2 over -1 minus 1 plus 3. What's 2 over -1 minus 1? -2. 2 over -2 is -1. -1 plus 3 is 2. So I got 2. You guys with me? Then let's do 2 over -2 minus. Now this one's the hardest one, I think. 2 over -3 plus 3. So now I got to work with fractions. You guys remember to add fractions? Yeah, I got a 1. Run out of room here. So I want a common denominator. What should my denominator be? Let's make this let's make it 3. 3 over 3, right? So -2 thirds plus 3 times 3 is 9 thirds. Is that too fast for anyone? You guys need to stop, think for questions. So -2 plus 9. 7 thirds. And then you could write this as your answer, but I want to graph it. So how many times does 3 go into 7? 2 times with the remainder of 1. Do I need to work that out? How I can work any of those. Don't feel embarrassed to ask, dude, Sensei, because I skipped a lot of steps there. In fractions, you haven't done it in a long time. So if you were wondering what I did here or what I did there or what I did there, let me know. So you could say, hey, Sensei, how'd you get 9 thirds? Hey, Sensei, how'd you get 7 thirds? Hey, Sensei, how'd you get 2 1/3? Go ahead. Anyone? Yes, Jackson.
-2 over 3 plus 3 over 1.
Yeah, I'll do it over here.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, keep going.
3 over
No, because what the idea is, I need a common denominator to add, right? So what I'm trying to change this into a 3. So I multiply by 3.
Oh,
And whatever you do on the top, you do on the bottom doesn't change the value. This is already a 3, so I don't need to multiply by anything.
that's just on the top.
Yeah, just leave it. Boom. Because once I have a common, I don't want to multiply by anything. Because if I multiply by 3, it'd be 9. Now I have a different denominator. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So then let's do this side. What's the equation? Okay. So I plug in 2. So 2 over what's it? 2 minus 1 plus 3, right? Is that right? So 2 over 1 plus 3 is 2 plus 1 is 5. So here I get 5. And then I get 2 over 3 minus 1 plus 3, which is 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 over 2 plus 3 is 1 plus 3 is 4. So I get 4 there. Right? Now we're going to have the hard one. 2 over 4 minus 1 plus 3, which is 2 over 3 plus 3. So we're doing the same thing, right? So multiply 3 over 3. So it's 2/3 plus 9/3. So that's 11/3. 3 goes into 11 3 times with the remainder of 2. So it's like 3 2/3. Is that right? So there's my table. So you guys gonna write that? I'm gonna recopy the table so I can recopy it on the thing. So make sure you guys practice. This is kind of a pain, but you guys got to practice it. You know what I mean? You're doing it right now once, right? But anyway, I'm writing the table here. X, f of x, dink, 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 dink. I got -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 2/3, 4, 5. No solution. 1, 2, 2, and 1. Now, I could be wrong with any of these. You can tell if you're wrong if your graph doesn't work out, right? So you just do your graph. And so I'm going to put it all. I'm going to put my table here so I can graph it. X. I'm writing it again so you can see it on the video. We got a -2, 2 and 1/3. I got -1, 2. I got 0, 1. I got 1, no solution. I got 2, 5. I got 3, 4. 4 and 2/3. 4, 3 and 2/3. Okay, so let's put our points. Do it in black. Black. Okay, that's your point. -2. 1, 2. 2 and 1/3. 1, 2. And 1/3. So right there. And then -1, and then 2. So see how it's going in a nice pattern? And then 0, 1. See how that does that? It should do that little curve thing, right? And then remember, we hug the asymptotes. Go through the points and hug it. And then we got 2, 5. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes sense because it goes above. I should have one above. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's doing the curve too. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 2/3, which is right there. And you got the same thing. It should look something like that. Tomorrow when we take the test, I'm just right when you sit down, I'm going to hand it to you because it's a short day. It's a, what's it called? Late start. So I'm not going to, as soon as you sit down, clear everything, I'm going to give you the test. If you come early, I'm going to start the test before the bell rings. So if you come late, it's more like you're going to mess up your time on the test. Can I move on? Yeah. Graph the function below. And we have to name the vertical asymptote, horizontal asymptote, y-intercept, x-intercept poles. How many more do we got? Fine, I'll come. Okay, so two more questions. Yes.
Why do you always, miss the number?
What do you mean? Because I'm old? I don't know. Oh, because I copied tests from other tests and I just missed those things. It's just a mistake. Okay. I have g of x equals, I'll try to fix that on the test tomorrow. 3x squared, because it's probably the same thing because I just copied them. So in other words, it's the same test, I just changed the numbers, just so you guys know. Minus 2x minus 3. Interesting. I'm just telling you, man. Trying to make it as easy as possible. It's hard. This is a hard class. I'm trying to help you out as much as I can. Okay. So what are my steps? G of x equals, what are my steps, homies? 3x squared, factor, set equal to 0, test the limits, right? So I'm going to factor it first. Let's find the greatest common factor. 3x times x minus 4 all over. Can I just do this in my head, or do you guys need me to do the triangle? X minus 3x, the x plus 1. Does anyone need to know how I got that? I'm going so fast because I just want to. Which one? Who asked? Which one, Alexis? This one? This one? Okay. So I went -3 and -2. What times what equals -3 and adds to -2? I just did that in my head. So I said -3 times 1. I'm going to set this equal to 0 just because, you know, it should be set equal to 0. Okay. What are my zeros? X equals, what are my zeros? Got 4. What else? There's another one there. What about this one? 3. If I put 3 there, it'd be 9. I want to make it 0. 3 times 3 is 9. 0, right? Because 0, 3 times 0 is 0. Makes it 0, right? When it's by itself, just put a 0 in there. What are my vertical asymptotes? 3 and -1. That's my vertical asymptotes. You have to label that, right? Those are my zeros. What's my horizontal asymptote? X squared over squared. If their m is equal to n, I divide, yes, 3 over 1, which is 3. Now I can test the limits. I know I'm in the way. My smallest is -1, 0, 3, and 4. Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, you need a shave. Okay, -2. Negative. Is that too fast for anyone? -0.5. Negative, positive. I got a negative. I got 3. 1, 2, 3. It's hard to see because it's all black. 1. Positive, negative, positive. Positive. 3.5. Positive, negative, positive. Negative. 1,000,000. I think we have all the information we need. Except now I have to click it.
What about the y?
Uh-oh. What about the y-intercept? You don't have to do the y-intercept. Does it say on there to ask for y-intercept? Oh. The y-intercept is when all the x's equal 0. But I'm not going to have you guys do that. So here we go. So what do we have? I'm just write all the information that I have to graph it. I got -1, 0, 3. Sounds like there's a lot of stuff going on over there. And I got x equals 4, 0. I got vertical asymptote x not equal 3 or -1. And the horizontal asymptote, actually it's y not equal 3. The horizontal asymptote is the y. And here we go. So let's go ahead and graph it. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is my 0, so I put a point there. I got 0 as my 0, so I put a point there. I got 1, 2, 3 as an asymptote. Sorry. I got 3 as an asymptote, and I got -1 as an asymptote. So I'm going to do my dots there. Sorry, I kind of feel like I'm mumbling to myself. Is this making sense to everyone what I'm doing here? We good? I got, what's my horizontal asymptote? So 3, I go here. And so let's go ahead and do what we got. Wait, what's this? Oh, that's just my random point, right? That I accidentally put there. I'm gonna do it in, what color should I do it in? Well, I got red here. I guess I'll do black. I don't know if green will show. Okay, so -1 is an asymptote. Okay, so here is positive. If it's positive, you hug the asymptotes. There's nothing there. Can you guys see that green? I think it's hard to see. You guys see it? Yeah. Anyone not see it? Okay, between -1 and 0, I got a negative. So you hug the asymptote and you hit that point. And then between 0 and 3 is going to be positive. So I got to hug the asymptote. This is one of those times where I'm going to cross the horizontal asymptote because it's in the center. You got to go positive, nowhere else to go. So you got to cross it. And then between 3 and 4 is negative. So you hug it, hit the 0, and then 4 is positive. Now, this is where the vertical asymptote comes in. You got to hug it, and there's your graph. Oh, and 0 is the y-intercept anyway, because you plug in 0, and it becomes 0. X becomes 0. But anyway, that's kind of nice. But I'm not going to ask for the y-intercept. Does it say here? Yeah, don't worry about the y. If you get the y-intercept, should I make it bonus, I guess? Yes, Jeff.
When the m and n are, when the m is bigger than the n hugging, I know they're equal there, but
Then you divide and you have this line.
which would be like x plus whatever.
Yeah, y equals x. Plus. Let me finish the last one, then I'll answer that because I wouldn't worry about that.
On the 10?
It's not. I don't think. I'll double check.
The next one?
Find the complex zeros. So if it's when you hear the word complex, what are you thinking? Imaginary. How do we solve for it though? How do you solve for zeros in a quadratic? Yes. And if they're complex, you're going to have to use the quadratic formula. because that's the only way we get the I, right? You can't get the I with the diamond, but the quadratic formula does because we get a negative. So I'm just going to do the quadratic formula, and then I will solve it, and then we'll be done. X equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. X equals negative blank plus or minus square root blank squared minus 4 blank blank all over 2 blank. Okay, my A is 2, my B is 4, my C is 6. Even though I didn't need to write it, I wrote it anyway. I got 4 squared minus 4a is 2, C is 6, 2a is 4. X equals negative 4 is negative 4. Should I pause? Anyone need me to pause? I'm just going to solve it. Unless someone needs me to pause. Anyone need me to pause? Yes, it should be 2. 2. Sorry. Thank you. That would mess me up big time. Negative 4 plus or minus square root of 16. 4 times 2 is negative 8 times 6 is negative 48 all over 4. X equals negative 4 plus or minus, what's 16 minus 48? 32? Negative 32? Negative 32 over 4. Okay, so here's where we break down the square root of negative 32 is square root of 32 times square root of negative 1, which is I, right? 32 is 16 and 2, prime. 16 is 4 and 4. 4 is 2 and 2. Prime, 4 is 2 and 2. Prime, square root of 32 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. There are 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then who gets out of jail? Dink, got a 2. Dink times 2. 4 root 2. I. So, oh, look at that. Negative 4 plus or minus 4 root 2. 4i root 2 all over 4. Kind of sloppy. Let me write it better. Negative 4 plus or minus 4i root 2 all over 4. Can you guys see how I would simplify it? All divisible by what? 4. So they all become 1. Negative 1 plus or minus I root 2. So that becomes 1. And that's your final answer. It's all multiplication, so it doesn't matter. But it's, you put the I outside of the square root. Like here, it usually goes next to the whole number and outside the square root. Study this, my children, tonight. All right, Alexis. Calvin? Dylan. Dylan. Oh, Dylan's not here. Okay, I'm stopping my recording.